So when you think about an inheritance, what comes to mind? Probably money, right? A house? Well, what if I told you that sometimes what we're really left with is something else entirely? Maybe it's an old secret, an unfinished fight, and maybe, just maybe, a shot at finding the purpose you never even knew you were missing.
Let's meet Caroline Worth. And this is the question that's just eating away at her. She's a 32-year-old teacher. It's the late 19th century, and her life just feels stuck, predictable. She's doing everything she's supposed to do, but she's quietly just suffocating, wondering if this is really all there is.
And then, boom, out of nowhere, a letter shows up. It's from a lawyer talking about an aunt she never even met. And just like that, her quiet, predictable life is completely turned upside down. That big question she's been asking herself, well, she's about to get an answer she could never, ever have seen coming. And this is where the story completely flips the script on what an inheritance even is. Because for Caroline, it isn't about getting rich. It's about inheriting a legacy of fierce independence, uncovering a hidden love story, and getting a call to action, a challenge to stand up for people whose society has just tossed aside. All right, so Caroline packs her bags, heads to Boston, and meets with a lawyer. She's probably thinking, great, financial freedom, a life of leisure. Nope. Turns out her Aunt Temperance had other plans. This gift comes with some major strings attached.
First, let's talk about the money. $12,000. Now, you gotta remember, for a teacher back then earning practically nothing, this is an absolute fortune. We're talking life-changing money. It's the kind of sum that makes you listen very carefully to the conditions that come with it.
And here they are, the 3 conditions. First up, she has to move to a town called Riversbend and take over as director of a shelter for women for 1 full year. Second, she can't just coast. She has to actually improve the place. And third, the curious one, find a woman named Margaret Thorne and deliver a personal letter. So it's a job, a mission, and a mystery, all in one package. And it's that last one, right? The one about finding Margaret Thorne? Well, that's the thread that when you pull it, unravels this whole 40-year-old secret. This isn't just about charity work anymore. It's about digging up the past. So Carolyn's in her aunt's old house, and she finds this locked box. She manages to get it open, and inside is this, a photograph of 2 young women looking incredibly close. And the names on the back? Temperance and Margaret. The date is 1848. You just look at it and you know there's a deep story here. But the box isn't just a photo. It's filled with letters. And they leave absolutely no doubt. Listen to this one bit from Temperance to Margaret. It's clear this wasn't just a friendship. This was a deep, passionate love, at a time when that kind of love could get you ruined. But then, just 2 years later, it all falls apart. You get this final, devastating letter from Margaret. It's so clear what happened. Under pressure from her family, Temperance backed down. And a heartbroken Margaret, feeling totally abandoned, made her own choice. It's just tragic. So let's just recap what happened here. Their secret love was discovered. Temperance chose her family over Margaret. Margaret, needing security, went on to marry a man named Josiah Thorne, and both of them spent the next 40 years filled with regret. Temperance poured her energy into founding the home, while Margaret just disappeared into a quiet, lonely life. But see, this isn't just some dusty old story. No way. This past is about to collide head-on with Caroline's present. When she gets to Riversbend to take over the home, she walks straight into a fight that's been brewing for decades. And here's the battlefield. In one corner, you've got Josiah Thorne. Yeah, the same guy Margaret married. And he's leading the charge to shut the home down. He's calling it a public nuisance. And in the other corner, Caroline. She's arguing it's a place of mercy and hope. He's using a petition. Her strategy is to throw an open house and let the town see the truth for themselves. So Caroline finally tracks down Margaret. And she finds this woman who's basically been a ghost for decades, unwell, shut off from the world. And in this incredibly tense, quiet moment, Caroline gives her the letter, the one her aunt wrote 40 years ago. And that letter, it's like a spark in the dark. It just changes everything for Margaret. Reading Temperance's last words, her apology, her regret, it wakes something up in her. And she says this. After 40 years of hiding, she decides to fight. She becomes Carolyn's most shocking and most powerful ally. And just like that, with this incredible new alliance, the whole game changes. This isn't just Caroline's mission anymore. It's a real community of women from all different backgrounds coming together to build something powerful.
And their big plan? It works. It works beautifully. The open house is a total game changer. Think about it. Before, the public was skeptical, listening to Thorne's rumors. But then they came, they met the women, they heard their stories. And that skepticism turned into real, genuine support. So what happens to Josiah Thorne? Well, he's totally cornered. The public isn't on his side anymore. And to top it all off, his own wife is standing against him. He has no choice but to back down and agree to a truce. It's a massive win for the home and for the women who fought for it. And while all this is happening, think about the journey Caroline's been on. I mean, just look at this transformation. She started in September as a restless teacher asking, "Is this all?" By December, she's a confident, powerful leader who knows her purpose. It's incredible.
And the coolest part? It doesn't even stop there. The victory to save the home blossoms into something even bigger. The women in town start a reading circle, bringing together women from every social class to talk about ideas, to find their voices, and to build a network of support that never existed before.
So, that brings us right back to the beginning, doesn't it? The will said she got a house and $12,000. But what did Caroline really inherit? She inherited a purpose. She inherited a community. She inherited the courage to fight. And she finally got an answer to her question. Is this all? And the answer was a loud, clear, resounding no.